Welcome to Automotive World, everyone. I'm your host, Vinny Mystery, and we are back. We have, just as I woke up, we have some really exciting news here out of Toyota. So on Toyota's Instagram here, it is Thursday. Clearly, Toyota's doing a little bit of throwback Thursday here regarding all the, with the 4Runners. So we go by, we have some of the images. They go through all the 4Runners. But we have a little bit something interesting because obviously we have, our current gen 4Runner here. But then our very last picture, we have a teaser. We have a teaser, and we know exactly now, at least we don't know which trim this is. More than likely, this is probably either like a TRD Pro or a limited type trim. Might even probably be a limited trim just because of the color coordination on the bumper. I don't think they would do like a silver gray bumper like that for the off-road, even though it is clearly in an off-road setting. However, we have our first look from Toyota teasing us with the new generation of 4Runner coming up. So we're here to really just look at this picture. We're gonna see, is there anything we can pull off of it? Obviously, they didn't give us any information. They're just teasing the image. We know though, based off, the engines that are already out with Land Cruiser. We know, especially obviously as this is going to be based off of Tacoma. We know the engines that are already out. With the hybrid versions and the non-hybrid versions. We don't have any price or anything, but obviously this is on the same platform, so we know that this is, they're going to be built one in one. They're going to be pretty much identical. One's just going to be the SUV based version. The other one's going to be obviously the truck based version, being with the pickup truck with the bed on there. We don't really have any sort of, we don't really have anything else in this picture. If we look at this picture, trying to see if I can save this picture, what we can do, maybe we can just go in on it manually and zoom in. So if we just go in on it here manually, they don't give us any trim information. We do see, obviously, it's spelling out 4Runner there, so we do have a new design. Obviously, our hitch cap here says Toyota on it. I did see some lettering on there. Obviously, they were smart enough not to put like TRD Pro or something on there, so they just put Toyota on there. We don't have any like other badging identification that we can see, especially on the right side, whether it's going to say, obviously it's probably not going to be a V6 anymore or the V8 anymore. It's going to be the probably the same engines that are on Tacoma, the 4-cylinder turbos, and then we'll have our hybrid versions as well. There's not really much to get from this image, but we do know that this is our first official teaser of the new 4Runner. And from the back, it looks very nice, as it should. It matches the current design language. We have, we see all the different sculpting. We can see the lines that they have on there. We don't know about the roll down rear window. We don't know about that. We do have that license plate number, or that plate number on there. I'm trying to see if we can see anything else. There's no, let me see. We just got our hitch cap here. I can't really see any of our trailer brake control or wiring or anything, but I'm sure it's probably there underneath. We can see down here though, if you see that what looks like rubber there, we do have our spare tire. And from the design of the tire, it looks like to be a full size. They've put it underneath the vehicle, which isn't necessarily a bad place to put it. I know some people like to put it, have it on the back of the tailgate. Some people like it underneath the vehicle. I personally like to put it on the back of the vehicle, on the tailgate of it. Just, helps out with, things like approach angle and all that sometimes. But we do have a full-size spare under there. I'm trying to see if we can... There's nothing else really that we have under there that we can see. We have our sticker here, safety sticker for, our trailer. There's nothing else that we have on this image other than just a sneak peek at the back. We would have to assume, obviously, this is Toyota. We know with Toyota teasers, they love to go on with their teasers. They did it with Tundra. We all thought it was like never gonna come out, and they teased it for so long, almost like a year. They kind of did the same thing with Tacoma. They did sort of the same thing with Land Cruiser, because they took it away and then brought it back in the Prado form. we did with Tacoma. So more than likely, knowing Toyota, we know that there is a media event next month for a lot of journalists who will be able to drive the hybrid versions of the Tacoma. Well, is it possible we might see it there? It is possible, but I think knowing Toyota does like to tease things out a little bit. I think they'll make us wait a little bit longer, especially too because with that hybrid version, the hybrid version of the Tacoma that we're going to see in the media events next month, we haven't even gotten the hybrid version to dealers. So while it would be a great way to, get some more hype and all that, I think with the Tacoma hybrid version, there's already going to be enough hype around it because people obviously want the Tacoma with the hybrid version, just as everybody wanted the new Tundra with the hybrid, the iForce Max version. So I personally think just so that way it doesn't take away the shine from that event, because then everybody would just be focusing about 4Runner because that's the newest kid on the block. I personally think that, it's possible we can see it. I think though, knowing Toyota, the way they like to tease things, I think they're gonna probably maybe hold out a little bit. I think they'll make us wait a little bit, but the fact that we are getting some teasers is very, very interesting. That means, it is, in Toyota terms, it's close to, being announced. I know with Toyota, like I said, we've seen them do teasers for a year or more, so we don't know exactly when this is going to come out. We suspect, though, probably by the end of this year or next year. I don't think they're going to make us wait to, announce it next year. I think they'll probably... If my guess is maybe they'll make us wait a little bit and then they'll announce it maybe a month or two after the Tacoma event, just so that way we can see how the new hybrid is going to drive. We can start getting that to dealers, and that way they're just not overwhelmed and things like that production wise. They're also really I say that too because they're not in a rush to sell this. The current generation of 4Runner, even though it is old with that 4-liter engine, not very powerful, not very efficient, and that 5-speed transmission, but it sells really well. Everybody loves it. It's super reliable. It's bulletproof. It has the capability whether you need to do some towing or you need to get a TRD and then take it off road. The current generation of 4Runner that's been out for essentially, with it being a reiteration over a decade, it's still selling so well. Most vehicles that are that old and look like that, especially interior wise, don't sell like that. So the fact that vehicle is selling so well, I think is just, Toyota's not in a rush to release this vehicle, and really they don't need to be, especially because people want to buy the older version just because it is more bulletproof. But that's also one of the reasons I think that Toyota is going to hold out a little bit. Excuse me. I don't think they're going to show it off next month. It would be cool if they did, and it would bring more hype to the event, but I think the event will already have enough hype with people waiting for the hybrid engine, wanting to see it. And just from a journalist point, obviously it's best to cover what's the newest thing on the block, and obviously, the hybrid engine for the Tacoma would be new because nobody has it yet, but being a new model and being what 4Runner is, especially here in America, with that, the equity and the value that nameplate holds, I feel like the 4Runner would overshadow that event and kind of push away the shine from the Tacoma. So I think it is going to be coming soon. I just don't think it's going to come next month. I'd be really surprised if it did. If they did show it next month, though, I think what they would do is maybe how we've seen before. They might actually show off the exterior and things. We probably won't get any specifications, or very little, if anything. But I personally think just with the current sales numbers and the way it is, Toyota is going to probably just make us wait a little bit, and then probably maybe in a month or two after, or a little while down the road, we'll actually see the 4Runner then. So that's all we have here. We're just here to essentially just talk about this vehicle, just talk about the picture here. As we can see, everybody here is excited in the comments. I'm really excited as well. I think the 4Runner, it really needs an update. I am really, really excited to see this. We don't have any pricing either. We know that the current 4Runner starts at about 41 or 40,700 and change, so we'll round up to 41. Obviously the Land Cruiser is going to start, low to mid 50s. So we don't know what 4Runner is going to be, but obviously it needs to slot in between the other vehicles like RAV4 and things. So this vehicle, this isn't going to be I don't think it's going to be a $20,000-$30,000 vehicle. I think if anything, it's probably just going to stay at that 40 range, or maybe they'll make it go a little bit lower. It'd be nice if they started at like 35 or 37, and then they'll probably push it up to about 50, 52. Just because at that point, I mean, if you're going over 55, or if you're getting close to 50, I mean, unless you're getting a TRD Pro in this trim or a higher end trim, at that point you might as well just spend the few extra grand and go get the new Land Cruiser. So that's all we've got here. This is really super exciting though. So it's hopefully Toyota don't drag this out. We have been waiting for this vehicle for a long time. This has been years. We can even say like the Tacoma, decades in the making. So I hope they don't tease it out too much. And like I said, even if they do show it off next month, I don't know if they'll give us any specs or anything, but it'll be interesting to see how, if they do and how closely they do make it related to the Tacoma, which it should be. And who knows, maybe we even get a manual transmission like some people are saying, which Tacoma does have that on the pre-runner. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone.